The wind rolled gently across the plains of Montana, carrying with it the smell of dry grass and distant rain. The ranch sat alone at the edge of the valley, weathered by time, much like the man who lived there. Ethan Cole had once been known as one of the strongest ranchers in the county. Tall, broad-shouldered, with steady hands that could calm the wildest horse. But war and fate had stripped much from him. A battlefield explosion had taken his sight. A fever soon after had taken his wife. And silence had taken his heart. Now, at 38, Ethan lived alone with only routine and memory to keep him company. He knew the land by touch. He counted steps from the porch to the barn. He recognized the creak of the gate, the sound of each animal's movement. But nights were the hardest. Darkness meant nothing to him anymore. His world was already dark, but loneliness still found him. That was the morning Clara Bennett arrived. She had stepped off the stagecoach with a single suitcase and more fear than she would ever admit. Her husband had died during the journey west, taken by illness before they could even claim the land they were promised. With no family left and no money to return east, she had answered a notice posted in town. Blind rancher seeks housekeeper, room, board, honest work. She hadn't expected him to be so quiet. Ethan heard her before she spoke. Light footsteps, hesitation. "You can come in," he said calmly. Clara froze. How did you know?" He smiled faintly. "I listen better than most." That was the first crack in the wall around his heart. At first, they were careful around each other. Clara learned not to move things without telling him. Ethan learned the sound of her breathing, soft and steady when she worked, shaky when she thought no one noticed. She cooked, cleaned, read letters aloud, and talked, sometimes too much. He listened. He always listened. Weeks passed, then months. Winter came early that year, trapping them together under heavy snow. Evenings stretched long, filled with the crackle of the fire and shared silence that slowly grew comfortable. One night, Clara read aloud from a worn book, her voice low and warm. "You don't have to read anymore," Ethan said. She paused. "Why not?" "Because I like hearing you breathe." Her cheeks warmed, though he couldn't see it. Something changed after that. He began asking about her past. She admitted her fears, her loneliness, her regret at ever leaving home. He spoke of the war, of losing his sight, of the night he buried his wife with his own hands because no one else had come. Clara cried then, quietly. Ethan reached out, unsure, and his hand found hers. Neither pulled away. Days later, as snow fell thick outside, Clara sat beside him on the bench near the fire. Her heart pounded so loudly she was sure he could hear it. "Ethan," she whispered. "Yes, I need to tell you something." He turned toward her voice. "Go on." She swallowed. "I've never been close to anyone like this before. I'm scared." He nodded slowly. "So am I." Her hand trembled as she placed it over his. If we ever cross that line, please go slow. This is my first time trusting someone like this." The room went silent except for the fire. Ethan's voice was gentle, almost reverent. "Clara, I can't see you. But I know your fear. I would never rush what deserves care." Tears slipped down her cheeks as relief washed over her. When he leaned closer, it was not with hunger, but with patience. His forehead rested against hers, steady and warm. He waited, letting her choose the moment. Outside, the wind howled. Inside, two broken souls found safety. They did not rush love. They learned it. In the weeks that followed, Ethan changed. He laughed more. Clara noticed he stood straighter, spoke with purpose. He trusted her not just with his home, but with his heart. Spring came slowly, melting snow and fear alike. When neighbors finally visited again, they found a ranch alive with warmth. Flowers near the porch, a woman humming, a man standing proudly beside her, his hand resting confidently on her arm. Ethan never regained his sight, but he found something greater. Clara found more than shelter. She found home, and together, they learned that love doesn't need eyes to see, only courage to feel.